Alright, I've been called upon to make my famous patty melts out of venison. Gonna slice up some cheese, gonna make some patties, gonna cut up some sweet onion, get that nice and sauteed. We're gonna start with the onion though, because that needs to saute low and slow so it doesn't burn. Let's get started. Gonna peel this outer layer off. Then just slice it like so. I like to cut that onion in half first. It makes for easy slicing. I'm gonna saute these onions in lard. This is a homemade lard. I like to render this out of beef trimmings that the butcher just gives you. Depends on the store, but usually if you just ask, they'll give you beef trimmings and there you go. So we're gonna get this pan nice and oiled up. Spread that around. I like to use lard, not only because it's free, but you can get this stuff a lot hotter than most other cooking oils without it smoking. And I like to use woks, at least these carbon steel ones. They heat up real fast and just easy to flip. And look at that, it already has smoke point. Gotta cool that sucker down a little bit. Okay, gonna toss that. And then once I've tossed it, I'm just gonna simmer it just below smoke point. Once it starts to burn or caramelize, I'm gonna turn the heat down again. To the smoke point, I'm just dropped it down to simmer that flame there. I'm just gonna cook it really slow like that. Over to the patties, we have 3 white-tailed deer patties that we shot and butchered and ground. And I'm just gonna liberally sprinkle it with salt. I'm using a Himalayan pink salt. And I'm gonna crack some fresh pepper on there. I like to just keep it simple. Salt and pepper with my patties because I need to taste the meat. It tastes delicious. Press that in, flip them. And then we're gonna salt the other side. And pepper it too. Give that a little toss. See how it's starting to brown a little bit and get a little more translucent. Just keeping it right below that smoke point. It's smoking easy because of all the sugars in there. I'm gonna start working on toasting our, if you haven't tried this stuff yet, it's amazing. These are brioche loaf by St. Pierre. It's like the donuts of bread. It smells like a donut. Anyway, I'm gonna stick some Kerrygold Irish butter in that pan, melt it, and lightly toast these. I'm gonna start that now. The last thing we're gonna do is cook the burgers and get the cheese on there. I put about a tablespoon of butter in there. And we're just gonna stick those in there like so and let those just lightly brown, kind of like I'm making grilled cheese. Then I'll flip it over and do the other side and we'll take them off, let them cool, and do the next set. Okay, these are nice and toasted on that side. I'm gonna flip it over, rub some more of that pan of butter in there and do that side. I'm gonna heat up this pan for our burgers. I like to use the cast iron because it gets a nice sear. Also, these tall sides help keep the spatter from getting everywhere. So once that starts being hot enough to sizzle, we'll throw those in. Oh, ready to flip. Get those over, rub them in. And this looks like it's ready. There's a little bit of a sheen on the oil there. Let's see. Yep, starting to sizzle. You want that sizzle because you want it to be basically, you don't want it to be like boiling in juices. You want the juices to come right out of it and evaporate so that you're getting a nice sear. And then, of course, don't want to forget the onions. You gotta keep those moving. Okay, that's been about, I think, 3 minutes, and you can kind of see it's turning brown on the side. Let's see how the bottom looks. Go ahead and flip that. A little bit of a sear on there. That's pretty good. Might as well flip them all. And once we have that on for a few minutes, I'll go ahead and throw the cheese on top. Keeping the heat high. Keep these guys flipping. We got our internal temper on 120, so I threw the cheese on. We're going to throw the lid on top, and we're going to shut the heat off and just let that cheese melt and the temperature rise up to about 140. Okay, internal temp is right about 140 where I like it. It's going to make about a medium. Go ahead and throw that on there. All that ooey gooey cheese. Can't wait. And then we're going to take our caramelized onions and boom. Patty melts. There's our 20-minute patty melt. Let's give it a try. Oh yeah. If you guys like that video, please like, share, subscribe, and stay tuned for more. Take care.